Thanks for the time. Coach, can you talk about the offensive struggles of the starting lineup outside of Jaloni and Cody that you've seen over the last few games?
Yeah, we haven't been real efficient on that end of the floor, and tonight's another example. Indiana goes 9 of 17 from three. They shot it really well, and I thought we got enough good looks and good opportunities. They just weren't going down.
Coach, beginning of the game, they were getting wide open layups, and had to catch your attention right away. I mean, what was going on with that?
Yeah, it was our press. We weren't executing in the press, and so it was really hurting us right out of the gate because just the press was not executing as it should, and they were making us pay for it.
Yeah, Coach, I was going to ask you about the press. Just, I guess, what was breaking down from it on your end? And, it's that press has given Indiana trouble through the years. I guess how much, what was different about the way they came out and attacked it tonight?
They had 5 people up there, and we weren't matching up correctly. So then they would throw it ahead and kind of sprint ahead. They were getting ahead of us. And, I thought we made some adjustments that were effective at times, but we just didn't get close enough to 40 minutes in the press, to generate the points off of turnovers we usually do.
Coach, at the beginning of the second quarter, you had that 9-point run where defensively holding Indiana from scoring, and you really had a good run that tied the ball game up. Then changing up personnel, switching things up. You had a group at the beginning of the quarter that you really haven't used much this season.
Yeah.
How much consideration went into maybe we should just ride them through the end of the first half?
Yeah, we tried to play that group for a while, but just the pace of the game and all that, we wanted to sub and get some fresh people in there. But it was a good lineup, and I think just we haven't played as well as I think we're capable of late, which is why we've been kind of trying some different lineups to give it a look, and so we kind of once again try to get playing better as we head down the stretch here.
The Indiana players came in here talking about the press was everything in practice, but for you guys, what were you guys trying to harp on in practice this week?
Well, I think Indiana's a really, really good team when they get in a good rhythm offensively, and they got into that tonight. And they were really good with their ball screen offense, and we weren't really good defending ball screens in the way we tagged and all that, and they made us pay. And they were, we're taking away the roll off the ball screens, and then they're throwing to the person who's helping, and to their credit, they're making shots. And so that was what I thought we were going to have to do, is to kind of get them a little bit out of an offensive rhythm, and we really didn't do that till the very end for a few minutes.
Question for you, Madison. Looking at this team as one of the leaders in the team, what are you seeing defensively that's just not working for the side for a whole 40 minutes?
Like Coach said, we're just not playing for 40 minutes. We need whoever's on the court, whenever they're out there, we need to just be aggressive and just do what we do in practice. I feel like when we get in the game, sometimes we get out of what we do in practice, and we work really hard in practice, and we do well against the guys, and we just need to carry that over into when we get in the game as well.
We're going to transition to Zoom here for a second. Brianna, if you'd like to ask a couple questions.
Yeah, I first want to start with, you guys the last 5 games have failed to hold a lead at the end of regulation. It's either been you guys lost or overtime. Is that concerning as this goes into the final stretch of the season? You only have 4 more games until the Big Ten tournament.
Well, it's just, we're trying to, our good is good enough. We just haven't been real consistent lately, and I think that's our biggest issue. And and you look in like the last 2 overtime games we had, we were great in overtime. And had we played like that in the last 5 minutes, we would have won by double digits. And I think tonight we were good late when our back was kind of against the wall, but you can't do that for short stretches and beat good teams in the Big Ten. We've got to be way more consistent. And so that's going to be the key. Like if we just get some consistency down the stretch, I think we could do a lot of great things in March. But if not, it's going to look a lot like this.
Jaloni, you guys talk a lot about being a team who generates offense from defense. Can you talk about how the defensive performance in the last 2 games have hurt the offense lately?
Our last 2 games? Like how the defense is coming in. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, no, just how the defense, just struggles on defense have hurt the offense.
I feel like we didn't have that today, like Coach said. Our consistency on defense wasn't there. Our past games, like he said, we were playing for those stretches of time that gave us the win, but today we just weren't able to do that.
I want want to give a last shout out. Yeah, go ahead. In person here. And then flip back.
Coach, in the fourth quarter, can you talk through what happened with the technical that you received?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I just was arguing a call that I thought they missed. That was about it. But
We all in person before we break. And Brianna, one last follow-up if you need one.
Just, what do you, I know obviously defense as a whole, but what specifically on defense do you think you'll be looking at over the next few practices to just kind of hone in on?
Well, I mean, part of that might depend on what Purdue's doing. I haven't really looked at Purdue a whole lot yet, but like I said, tonight our ball screen defense wasn't very good, and Indiana really made us pay. So we'll have to take a look at that and see where we can make improvements.